Okay, okay. We are live. 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 Excellent. Beautiful. Let's make sure that playback is good. I think we did good today. Got all my tags in. Got all of my got everything sent over. I think we're doing good. We're gonna definitely be able to just get into this. As always, I am your humble and righteous host, Carter Drew. This is Real Talk, Real People. Um, hope everyone's doing well today. Well, I don't hope. I pray you all do well today. There's a little bit more behind that. So this one, I don't expect it to be too long at all because today is a very special day. Happy birthday to my boy, Twisted, 28 years young. We're gonna do it right this evening, and probably when I get off from this. Shout out to uh, his brother that came in from Jay-Z, from Jay-Z, and shout out to Hirsch as well. Congratulations on your new toy there. Anyway, oh, shout out to Pika. Hope she's having fun over in Orlando with her bestie. And shout out to I guess I'm just doing shout outs. Shout out to uh, my mom and dad. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to my niece who did very well on her report card. Very, very well. I dropped a little bread for her. Very good. Got to always promote good grades. And also one very, very honest and deep shout out. Shout out to Shiba Inu and Shib Army. Man, you got me looking good. You got me looking vindicated. Let's keep that pump up for real. Shout out to the Sheeb Army. I'm definitely gonna start doing more Sheeb content because I mean I'm passionate about it. My wallet, my wallet is very passionate about it, and maybe some other cryptos. I'm not a financial advisor, so let's get that out of the way. All right. So, oh, and shout out to God. All right. So here we go. Um, there something happened a couple days ago. Some information got revealed a couple days ago. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen to show you what was revealed, and we're actually gonna go ahead and read the article into the record because I got a lot of thoughts about this. I feel some type of way about this. Um, weapons free. I'm taking the lock off of it because I definitely feel some type of way. Now, whether I am actually looking for some sort of personal recompense or not, I do feel some type of way about this. And even more so, the consistency that this United States government has displayed over hundreds of years. Just I don't know what it is. Maybe it's as simple as a hate, just a deep hatred for the people, um, specifically black people, African Americans, FBA, indigenous blacks, native blacks, however you want to uh, label, which that's a whole other conversation about self-determination in that fact and what you believe the origins of black people are. But it's almost it's tantamount to a level of just uh like trying to like pretend like they don't exist, you know, like we don't exist. So let's go ahead and read this into the record. I promise you, I promise you this is I am not making this up. I'm not making this up. You show here, that's perfect. Let me make that full screen. Let me make that full screen. Let me make that full screen. Okay. So I'm going to read this into the record for everybody. And this is how it sounds. US in talks to pay hundreds of millions to families separated at the border. Okay. This was updated on October 28th, so 2 days ago, or longer, depending on when you're watching this, at 6:03 p.m. Written by Michelle Hackman, Aruna Viswanathan, and Sadie Gurman. The government is considering payments of $450,000 per person affected by Trump administration's zero tolerance policy in 2018. So in the picture, you see border cities like Brownsville, Texas, seeing their resources stretched as they work to manage growing number of migrant families crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally. Illegally. Washington, read the full. Well, don't worry. I just wanted to show you. I got to give credit. Wall Street Journal was the first one to break this 2 days ago. It's behind a paywall, but I got some for that ad. All right. So that's the gist. Wall Street Journal dropped it first. Apparently, we're gonna read this here. Yahoo News. Adam Shaw wrote this one. A reported plan by the Biden administration to pay 450,000 per person to illegal immigrants who had been separated during the Trump administration could exceed payments given to some families of 9/11 victims and Gold Star families. Yeah, this sounds like a Fox News slant. I don't like the Fox News slant. Let me see if I can find a different article. But it's real. I mean, they ain't lying. They ain't lying. Let me see. Let me see here if I can find it on. I'm sure it's all over 450. I shouldn't have to go out of the country for U.S. news. I shouldn't have to do that. Um, reputable news source. Well, forget. We can use Fox. I mean, I'll dispel the bull if I hear some. Let's keep going. All right. The Wall Street Journal reported Thursday that the Departments of Justice, Homeland Security, Health, and Human Services are considering payments of 450,000 to those who crossed the border illegally and were separated from their family members. It is in response to a lawsuit by civil rights groups. Civil rights groups. I wonder if they'll specifically detail. We'll have to look into that. I think it was ACLU. The payments could therefore amount to close to 1 million per family or 1 billion overall, although the journal said that many families would get smaller payouts. Um, the report, which Fox News has not confirmed, sparked immediate outrage from Republicans, former Trump officials, at prospects of using taxpayer money to turn illegal immigrants into millionaires. Um, Black folks are very upset. Now, to the credit, not a lot of black folks know about this. I was actually speaking to my barber yesterday. He didn't know that something like this. So it would have only been dropped one day, but he didn't even know about this. But he thought it was bull. This is this ain't a slap in the face to black people. This is a shotgun to the stomach. This is the heater to the belly to black folks. To black folks. This was 2018. So just think of. Let's keep going. I'll give my comments at the end. Um, Critics quickly noted that it would be more than received by families of those who lost loved ones in military service. The death gratuity of a single tax-free payment of $100,000. So yes, the 450,000 would be tax-free. In addition, there's a life insurance program, service member groups, life insurance SGLI, but that maxes out at 400,000 and requires the service members to have paid into it. Rep. Dan Crenshaw of Texas, Republican of Texas, made the contrast between payments and what is given to those who have lost loved ones in service to the country. Biden wants to pay illegal immigrants 450,000 for their hardship while breaking our laws. Navy SEAL veteran tweeted, for perspective, if a service member is killed in action, their next of kin gets an insurance payment of 400,000. Let that sink in. Um, Dozens of Republicans wrote to the heads of the various agencies Friday making a similar point. The idea that we would give illegal foreigners who broke the law a check that exceeds the amount of our government supplies to our valiant and heroic Gold Star families is shameful, reprehensible, and morally indignant. Separately, comparisons have been drawn to the payouts of 9/11 victims. The Journal reported that a DHS attorney complained that the payments could amount to more than what some families of 9/11 victims received, which funded averaged amounts of 2 million, with some significantly lower. However, other officials reportedly pushed back on the comparison, saying the U.S. government was not responsible for 9/11. As the fund stands now under current law, while there's no overall cap of total benefits that can be paid, there is a cap for non-economic loss as a result of cancer at 250,000 and non-economic losses resulting from cancer of 90,000. For cases where 9/11 related health conditions cause death, the presumed award provided in funds regulation for non-economic loss is 250,000 plus an additional 100,000 for the person, spouse, and each dependent. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy said the news was another way President Biden is putting America last. Lawyers in his own administration admits payments of illegal immigrants could be more than families of fallen 9/11. Okay, okay. Meanwhile, advocates of 9/11 victims have said a statement that this news was a shock to them and trying to persuade Congress administration to fund payments for those who have been wrongly kept from compensation. And the article ends. So in that article, of course, from Fox, no one of all those people that they said should be getting money or people that do get money, do get recompense, do get some sort of help, um, security, all these different things. Not one mention of uh, a historically disaffected group like Black people, African Americans, Negro, FBA, Indigenous Blacks, Native Blacks. No mention of them. Now, that is a Fox News article, but still, all things being equal, no mention of them. They're saying, man, if our troops can't get money, 9/11 victims can't get money, what are we doing giving to illegal immigrants? So one must ask themselves, Republicans and Democrats are two separate wings of the same bird, right? Let's make no mistake about that. But what do we have here? What do we have here? Black people can't listen. They're not gonna give you us. They're not gonna do right by us. Let's just keep it real. They're not gonna do right by us. Okay, black women and the black elderly got Biden in the black LGBT got Biden elected. He could not have been elected without them. They were crucial to him beating Trump in the last election. And what have black people gotten from supporting Joe Biden? Nothing. Nothing at all. Not a damn thing. So when you see things like this, and all these links are in the bio or in the description of the video. When you see things like this, what do you make of it? Right? These are illegal immigrants. They're not even citizens. These are illegal immigrants that the Biden administration, this is talk has been going on for months, and it just became public due to the lawyers, some of the information becoming being disseminated. But they've been in talks about this for months. These are illegal immigrants that chose to come over here or send their children over here with coyotes and all these other individuals, even just sending them by themselves on treacherous journeys to come over here into the United States illegally. So these are all law and order people. The Republicans, the Democrats, just you know, open borders. I'm not going to get on all that because listen, black people are the one group of people that have always been here and that we're not immigrants. Okay, we're not immigrants. We'll never be immigrants. I don't care how you rewrite try to rewrite history. We've been here. If anyone's supposed to be here, if anyone has uh, can speak on this from a point of authority, it is black people. All right. So you, I mean, my mind was thrown into a tailspin. I'm like, this can't be right. I was on YouTube and I was scrolling and I saw Erica Williams. Shout out to Erica Williams, great financial channel, just entrepreneur channel. And I saw a post and she put in the article talking about um 450,000 immigrant families. I'm like, nah, that can't be. I read the screenshot, and lo and behold, that's what it was. I'm like, no, no, no. I go to read the Wall Street Journal article. Read it. I read a couple of articles. I responded to the post and said, "Am I reading this right? Are these people getting reparations for breaking the law? 450,000 per person, but listen. We don't have enough money to give reparations to not give to pay reparations to black people. We don't have the money, but we have the money to pay 450,000 per person, per family member. So if you have immigrant family of, let's say I have kids, right? Back in 2018, I had two kids, three kids. I live. I'm just an immigrant, so this isn't just again. This isn't just Mexicans. It's whoever was coming over that border that was displaced and had their children taken. Honduran, whatever, Haitian. Well, we'll see if the Haitians get anything, but just far be it from that. I sent two or three kids over here. So you're telling me that the family members, not just the children, but these are the parents as well. So every person in that family is getting $450,000 for breaking the law, and black people who've built this country, whose existence is extrinsically tied to every some just about every major advance in the world, United States, much less the world, can't get recompense for the labor, the death, the displacement, the psychological, the trauma, the PTS, all these different. It's countless. I can go on for an hour detailing all the things that black folks have gone through over hundreds of years in this country. Black folks can't get consideration, but something that happened 2 years ago, in 2018, under the Trump administration, to non-U.S. citizens, illegal immigrants that break the law, they're getting consideration from the next administration for $450,000 per person. Yes, I don't need to tell you what's wrong. Listen. You could tell a child this. You could give a child the brief primer of what happened during slavery, and then you can give them a primer of what happened in the last couple years. And you ask a child, okay, so 450,000, who should that go to, or should these group of people get something, and should these group of people give something? And you know what? A innocent child says, well, I'm sorry. It's yeah. Definitely think the group of people that have been here should get something, but I also think the people that had was taken from their family should get something. That's just the innocence in the way of a child. But there's no world. There's no reality. There's no parallel universe where anyone would believe that illegal immigrants should have more power, more stake, more consideration than U.S. citizens, indigenous black folks that were enslaved and freed, No one believes. No. There's no reality where they should have more consideration than us. It's it's insane. It's insane. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So this is an interesting thing. You got Republicans potentially fighting against this, not because it's the right thing to do, not for black folks, but because they don't want to pay for illegal immigrants, and rightfully so. You have the Biden administration and some Democrats saying we should go ahead and do this because it's the right thing to do. And it wasn't even something that took place during the Biden administration. They're talking about something that happened in the Trump administration. So something that happened in the past. You see these parallels. You see these You know what? You know what would make this an interesting headline? Reported Biden plans to pay African American citizens 450,000 could surpass payments to some 9/11 military families. Or U.S. in talks to pay hundreds of millions to families of descendants of enslaved people and indigenous black people. That will be a headline. I guarantee you the comments on these articles, the comments on these videos, it would be crazy. What? The United States doing the right thing? Paying their debts? See, it's so crazy when it's everybody but black folks. You don't hear anything. It's not an issue. Let's brush it under the rug. Let's not talk about it. Let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. But if this headline was different, you would see comment. They'd have to turn off the comments for videos. They'd have to turn off the comments for these articles because there'd be so many people against it. There'd be immigrants against it. Everybody would be against black folks getting paid for the labor of their ancestors and the intrinsic and extrinsic value provided over hundreds of years of slavery and post slavery. People's land was taken, people's lives were taken, people were affected by PTSD, people were mistreated, maltreated, raped, all these atrocities. Atrocities. All these different things. You know what? Someone should do that. So I'd pay for it. I'd pay for it. Someone to make an article, make a blog post, and to get traction that the United States government is going to do right by black people. I guarantee you'd be a firestorm. We just don't have the money. Well, you do have the money. You just showed you had the money. Well, we don't know who is black and who is not. Okay. So it will be a logistical nightmare to do the right things. Interesting. Okay. Okay. See, they will come up with every reason under the sun to tell you why you shouldn't get it, you don't deserve it, you should forget about it. It's just not coming. But these are illegal immigrants. They ain't even asked for this. This was a civil rights group. And let's look into this civil rights group. Hold on a second. I've got time. The ACLU, which represents the families, have identified Trump era policy. Hold on. So the ACLU, which represents families, has identified about 5,500 children separated from parents at the border during the course of the Trump era policy. The ACLU, the ACLU. So let's look at something here. So that's where my outrage comes. I'm gonna play something too. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. And I hate to say that this guy was right when it comes to black folks voting against their interests, voting for Democrats that have produced nothing. They produce nothing for the black community specifically. Southern strategy, benign neglect, Democrats and Republicans. See, Republicans, you're not getting anything from them. Democrats try to tow you along and tell you, hey, yeah, vote for us. We got to do the right thing. We got to be the moral authority. We're going to take care of you. It never takes care of black folks. Never. Hey, we gave you more money for your WIC. We want you to be reliant on us. We did this program. We did this. We did this. We did this. Nothing to help you become a self-sustaining person. Nothing to do right by you. See, black folks, we ain't asking for anything but we what is owed, and we'll handle it from there. We don't need any managers of any money, managers of reparations. You don't do any of that stuff for anyone else. Shit, you give motherfuckers money, they ain't even ask for it. You give motherfuckers money, they ain't even citizens. You give motherfuckers money that don't even contribute and have not contributed to the greatness of this country for hundreds of years. But I'm gonna play something that was absolutely right. Hold on, let me see here. I want to make sure you guys hear it. Um, let me see here. Yeah, yeah. Um, Let me see here.
Look, what do you have to lose? You live in your poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth
Yeah, Trump was right about that. That was Trump. What the hell do you have to lose? A lot of people were offended when he said that. A lot of people were offended, very offended about what he said. But he was right. What did black folks have to lose if Trump got into office? There's the fear that black folks would still be gunned down in the streets without being worried about any sort of justice, which still happen, right? Still happens. And but imagine if Trump got in office, actually did what he said he did was going to do, work with Ice Cube and get something to the betterment of black people. What if? Crazy, right? Interesting. Who knows? There's no guarantees. But what we've seen from Joe Biden is mismanagement, um, disrespect. I mean, everything from you ain't black if you don't vote for me. The Republicans gonna have you back in chains. Just disrespectful talk. His record spoke for himself, and he's literally living up to what he's always done. I don't understand. And all my family members that did vote Democrat for Joe Biden out of fear of Trump, or because Joe Biden gonna I don't want to do him like that. Joe Biden gonna do this for us. Listen, they're silent. They I can't get them on the phone. I haven't. I was actually gonna call them before I did this live. They haven't said nothing. I've sent in the family group chat. I've sent um, articles. I've sent a few videos, other people's opinions on it. Crickets. I haven't heard nothing. Black folks, you gotta stop voting against your own interest. You got to. So this is the tough love portion. We gotta have groups that actually lobby for our benefit. Whether we need think tanks, whether we need groups like the ACLU. Wait. Anti Defamation League. Wait. What happened to the Congressional Black Caucus? What happened to Black Lives Matter? Oh, they can't. Ugh. Let me not use Black Lives Matter. That's some LGBT stuff. That ain't even for black people. But just on the auspice, they can't even get a phone call from Biden. See, it's very interesting. All of these quote unquote black groups that are meant for to promote our interests, you don't hear from them, and you don't hear from them because they're not grassroots black groups. They're controlled opposition. I mean, they're they're uh they're on the take. They're on the pay, right? They're not real. Black Lives Matter. The, that is a LGBT money funnel that doesn't promote healthy, safe black families. Doesn't protect black men. Doesn't protect black boys. Doesn't do any of that. It just keeps on the narrative and the promotion that black men and black women should be separate and we're better apart than we are together. What? You don't want to be with him. You don't want to do that. These are the same groups of people that tell you, hey, go best friend, go best friend. You should have a gay best friend, but you should treat your male counterpart, your sons like shit. It's the same. It's insanity, right? It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It's just dividing. It keeps us at odds with each other. Husband against wife, sister against brother, grandma against grandson. Just it's it's just confusion and chaos. So where are these groups? I haven't. I don't have cable, but I do get my news sources. I definitely read. But where are all these people rising up against this? Where are the black folks saying, "Hey, no, we, no, 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 no"? So they get this, and black folks can't even get. Listen, black folks at this point aren't even asking for anything. We're asking y'all. We're not asking to give us something. We're literally asking you to stay out of our way. All them obstacles that you have there, you put there, the roadblocks. You know, Kanye the song. What was the song? You wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Jokes on you, we still alive. Throw your hands up in the sky. We don't care what people say. Okay, there's so many roadblocks to even get to adulthood, right? Let's just get rid of those, right? Let's get rid of those. We ain't even asking for anything more. We're just get out of our way. But when you see things like this, when you see a Biden administration that had, I think it was the black female vote, like upward 90%, black folks in general voted by 85% for Biden, there needs to be more done for the voting bloc. To me, and I've said this before, to me it looks like um, what you do. Like this is how I would do it. If I'm Biden, let's think in the mind of a madman. If I'm Joe Biden, how would I do this? Okay, so if I can keep the black folks voting for me, they always typically vote Democrat. Shout out to Lyndon B. Johnson. They always vote Democrat, right? Okay, so if I can get black folks to vote Democrat, but historically not expect anything or find a way to pacify them with trinkets and butter biscuits or whatever, empty promises, and still get their votes, great. Now, I do want to get this Hispanic vote because typically Hispanics have a they don't typically go for all the LGBT super progressivism. A lot of them are Catholic or religious, devout, and my platform is promoting these different things that are kind of counter to that. So how do I secure that Latino vote, that Latinx vote? How do I secure that? Well, you know what? These Hispanics, right? Well, these illegal immigrants. Maybe if I find a way to give these illegal immigrants some sort of I don't know, some you know what? Let's pay them for breaking the law to show that we have compassion, and that way I can secure the Latin vote and keep the midterm elections in the Democrats here. Like stuff like that. They're like, them niggas ain't gonna ask for nothing, or we ain't giving them niggas nothing. Okay, fuck your couch. We ain't giving them niggas nothing. You niggas better not ask for shit. And if you do, you know what? I'm gonna be real with this shit. I'm gonna be real. I ain't giving you niggas nothing unless you gay, unless you LGBT. You niggas ain't getting nothing. Facts. Tell me I'm lying. If you don't promote some sort of dysfunction in your community, y'all of intact black family, no, 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 no. Y'all get a divorce. Y'all have children out of wedlock. I'll give you some more benefits. How about that? That program's already here. How about that? You promote that dysfunction, and I'm gonna give you a little something. You again, let me say that again. You promote that dysfunction, and I'm gonna give you a little something. Ain't that some shit? Hmm. Black folks, you got to know your worth. You're not getting anything from none of these people, Democrat, Republican. This is the best thing you can do. And like I said, the only way black folks are getting reparations, shout out to Super Sly 75. The only way black folks are getting reparations is at the end of a gun. or some sort of power dynamic. Okay, that's the only way. Until then, black folks, we need to come together. We need to put our interests first, not LGBT interests first, not women's interests first, family interests first, economic interests first. Have a baseline understanding of who we are as a people first and put in that work. I know we have this built in uh, slave mentality of mistrust for black folks, easy to abuse each other, hurt each other, value each other less. But listen, let's accept that we have that. Let's work on it. Let's get over it, and let's hold ourselves accountable. And let's just we gotta do our own thing, right? Black folks shouldn't be voting Democrat or Republican. Black folks, how about you come up with your own party, right? Your own think tanks, your own this, your own that. And if every black person voted for that party that they create, then that's perfection. Let's utilize that. See, I I don't want to hear that. Well, if you're voting for blah, you're voting for blah. No, 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 no. Black folks, create your own party, put up a candidate, put up your platform of what you're trying to do. That's who you vote for. Black people. If that person promotes your interests, vote for that person. But if you don't have an interest, you don't know who you're voting for, vote for the person in the party that was created by the people that have your best interests at heart. And I don't care if a Democrat, Republican, a third party candidate loses the election. I don't care if it's every 4 years, every local election. I don't care. There needs to be a party where black folks vote into this party for this particular candidate. Well, it looks like it's 2024 and 2024 election. Or sorry, was it 2018? No, 2022. Is it 2020? No, 2024 election. And looks like the Democrats got this vote and the Republicans got this vote. And it looks like for the first time in history, it seems like the entire black vote has voted for this third party. This third party has 99% or 98% of the entire black vote. Who is this party? They know they're not going to get this person elected, but they just keep voting in this group because this one party has their interests at heart collectively, overarchingly, from micro to macro. And if that's how it's got to be for the next 12 years, 24 years, that you can't get the black vote unless you promote and do things in the interest of black people for their safety, their economics. See, when we go outside ourselves, champion everyone else's particular events, everyone else's causes. No one, there is no brown coalition. There is no rainbow coalition. That's bullshit. And it's about time someone said it. Ain't no one riding for us. We ride for everybody. Ain't no one riding for us. So we have to ride for each other. And if Democrats don't get the black vote for the next 12 or 24 years, good. Maybe they'll start adopting things in their policy. Maybe they'll start making promises and keep promises and start doing things and coming to black folks as a voting group, as an interest group, instead of as a free voting repository. And Republicans are like, damn, Democrats can't seem to get the blacks anymore. Well, maybe we'll chill out on that bullshit. Uh, the veiled racism, the veil, so on and so forth. And I'm not talking about conservatives. Conservative Republicans, two different things. I'm talking about Republicans and the Republican Party. Let's start adopting some of this stuff in. Um, and seeing if we can get the black vote. That's what's going to happen. That's what they're going to see. You got to build your own. You got to build your own. Will black folks ever get reparations? I don't know. I'm not waiting on it. I'm building my own empire. But that doesn't mean it's not owed. That doesn't mean it's not something worth fighting for. But it ain't the sole thing that we got it. There's things that have to be done in lieu in the meantime. Quite frankly, and I'll probably end it at this. Quite frankly, I think the United States rather have an economic collapse than do the right thing by black people. Black people, the America rather get taken over by China so they won't don't have to pay the debt in blood and in money and in spirit to black folks. They rather let Russia or China take over. They rather fight a war. They rather do everything else than do the right thing when it comes to black folks, indigenous, native native blacks. And that's just how it is. I honestly believe that. We'll have an economic collapse. We'll have uh, America will dissolve before it does the right thing, and that's horrible. They'll blow up the boat. They'll blow up the building before they do right by us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content. Uh, yeah, if you like the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it, please. We do what we can over here. I got tons of links in the description. If you want to see the contract for Black America written by Ice Cube a couple years ago, you check that out. The Case for Reparations written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which was the first real back in 2016. Like I think it was the first 63 pages, but it's a whole tallying of what they believe reparations should amount to. It's more than a couple trillion. And then, of course, the definition of reparations and a few other articles detailing the 450,000 towards illegal immigrants. All right. Thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful and safe day. And this has been Carter Drew. And as always, keep it real.